Hey YouTube, Frogtoad here. Well, it's knife buying time. And for my next one, I got it narrowed down to two. This is the Spyderco Salt1. The one I'm looking at is the plain blade. And it's got that H1 steel that supposedly will not rust. That's a big deal when you work around salt water as much as I do. It's a little bit bigger than I was looking for, and yeah, at 2 ounces the weight's just fine. The big thing I'm not too thrilled about is the riveted construction, and I'm not so sure about, it's just got a little bit of a look thing, and I've never owned a Spyderco. The other choice is the Flash1, which anybody who has watched my videos knows I carry the Flash2 now. This thing is probably about perfect as far as size and weight goes for me and deep carry, but it does have that extremely foolish safety on it. And man, while the steel's alright, typical SOG, they don't really offer it. I mean, if I could get this thing in a black blade, I'd do it, but no, you gotta have a combo in order to get that. So what to do. Alright, so where did I end up going? Well, I went with the Spyderco, and yeah, the Flash1 was lighter. I did have experience, with the make and with the style. And it really was, and it was tough. But the bottom line is the steel went out. Now, when I was talking to Spyderco about the orders I had to put in before, I did mention that I was looking at this steel, and the lady I spoke to at Spyderco, she was pretty adamant. It will not rust. In fact, what she told me is if I find any rust on here, it's going to be because this blade was rubbing up against something that had rust on it. Okay, well, there's a challenge. Like I said, I get pretty salty, and I stay pretty wet. There's occasions. So I'm not going to show any mercy to this thing. It wasn't a very expensive knife. I know I did pay a little bit more, than I probably should have, which is probably a good point to bring up, right now, is that, I like getting deals, as much as the next person. And the internet is just rife with great deals. But there's a small store in my town. It does surplus. They sell, they're Jansen dealers. They sell a lot of backpacks and stuff to everything from hunters to school kids. Pardon me. And they're a knife dealer. And I went ahead and bought this one from him. Now, did I pay? I think I paid about $11, maybe $15. I can't remember. Somewhere's in that ballpark, more than the best price I found for this knife online. Okay, shipping would have been, $3 or $4. So I probably, let's just say for sake of argument, I spent $10 more for this knife than I would if I'd have got it online. But, you got to support your local merchants. I didn't pay MSRP by any stretch of the imagination. Not even close. I mean, we're not talking about somebody who's trying to ding you for the MSRP, but I mean, these stores that stock these blades, they have to pay the shipping, they have to pay, overhead and everything to have a store that you can come in and look at stuff. So while, I can't afford, someday I'd love to get, one of my dream knives is to get one of the black-bladed militaries. I really like that. But I mean, I can't afford to pay you know, even a store price for that. I'm going to have to go online and try and get my best price. You know, but for knives like this, you know, that are under 75 bucks, I mean, I bought both of these from that store, and I've bought, gosh, I think 3 K-bar Doziers now from him. And yeah, you know, I could have saved, you know, what did I spend? Maybe with all these knives, I've spent, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 bucks more than I could have. But I mean, I consider it a good investment, because these are just really good people, and when you need help and you need service, they're there for you. And anybody who's done work online and bought things online knows that, well, you know, things can go wrong online. So, you know, I guess that's my support your local merchant PSA part of this. So, back to the Salt1. I was surprised. It's a little bigger than I thought it would be. It's still, you know, in every dimension, is quite a bit smaller than this. You know, it's half-inch smaller blade, and when it's closed, I'll cut myself. You can still see it's quite a bit smaller. You know, did I get way tiny? No, but I think it'll make a difference. And I know there's probably at least 2 or 3 people laughing, you know, because I've always said I'm not a knife collector. Oh well. Thanks, YouTube friends. Maybe I'm slowly going to become a knife collector. Who knows? But so far I like it. It's a little odd, you know. Little concerned about the riveted, but it's solid as a rock now. And yeah, it doesn't have any kind of well, it has a lanyard hole per se. It's not very big, and I'll hold back judgment whether I pop the handle off, especially on these small knives. I think these clips are really detrimental to the look of the knife. I know, especially on, I think it's my my leak. That thing's like a canoe paddle on the side of it. It just buggers up, you know, the clean looks of the knife. So I'm gonna mess with that. And if I can find a lanyard that works for me, that clip's probably going bye-bye, because it's just too big. The blade itself, the blade shape, yeah, I like it. You know, I don't need something in this use. I don't need something real pointy, you know. And this is actually safer if you're going to use it on the boat. If you're on a moving deck, having a blunted tip is pretty cool. In fact, it might even be tempting to blunt it a little bit more. I don't know. I won't do it because I want to beat the tar out of this blade without doing anything that would be called modifying. I just want to see if I can rust it to death just on normal use. That's my challenge. The grip is great. It's got great traction. I was surprised. That stuff, that Tardisius, what does he like to call that? It's traction-assisted serrations. What's really funny, I was making a joke about that, and I think it's in my Spyderco catalog. I'm not going to go get it, but it actually uses the J word. So I suppose, you know, jimping is a word, but, you know, for my buddy Tardisius, the traction-assisted serrations appear just rock. I would have no problem carving with that knife. If I need to do that, I know my fingers aren't going to slip. Down at the bottom, nothing. But this is too small, I think, to worry about having too much at the bottom. So my first impressions are I like it. It's a little weird, you know. Like I said, I've never owned a Spyderco, so having that odd blade shape is going to take a bit of getting used to. Weight's good. And now I just want to see if will not rust is truth or hype. We'll have to wait and see. Well, I'm out of here. Fair winds, y'all. Have a great day.